Okay, hello friends, Fujosevich here. So we are coming up against some sort of a Murloc Paladin. So what we're going to do is coin out hero power and punch once. And the idea here is we're going to Caverns from below next turn because we need to get rid of this Murloc Tidecaller because it has potential to grow ridiculously. And that's obviously a little, not ideal for us. But because we were able to have the South Sea deckhand, that's actually not the worst thing for us. And now we got some options. But yeah, we're just going to go face with patches. And now we're sitting really, really good because we got 2 Novice Engineers and a Brewmaster. That's scary. Ooh, this is a really interesting aggro. Oh, that is disgusting. That's not what we want to be seeing at all. So I think we're just going to throw the first Novice Engineer and hope while I attack into the 2-1 here, unless something horrible happens, which I can't imagine. Never mind. We're going to finish the quest next turn. We draw a card. Oh, and this prep is going to be excellent. We're going to draw 1 card. We're going to draw 2 cards. And we're going to finish the quest next turn. And we're going to be able to... are we going to be able to finish the quest next turn? I'm going to continue to do this basically just because our opponent's going to be kind of feeling that pressure. And now the question is, do we want to Mimic Pod or do we want to save this for Violet Teacher next turn? And I think we can save it for Violet Teacher next turn. Or if we want, we can just Youthful Brewmaster, Novice Engineer. But our opponent's going to be kind of probably worried about this quest. Or maybe not. Maybe they think they're just going to be able to go wide. And to be fair with you, maybe they will. Although I am... Oh, this is not the best. So we can finish this. I think we have to do this first in the event that this is Repentance. It is not. Quest is complete. That's great. So this has to disappear, which is good for us. Which one was that? Please. Oh, discover another Murloc. Okay, so our opponent's going to have tons of resources. And now I think we're just going to go with something that's going to be slightly stronger on board. This reduces by 3, so this is still going to cost 2. So we're not going to be able to do that next turn. I think we want to do this not because we care about the draw, but as much because we want something stronger aboard that's going to be able to trade with our opponent's board, because we don't want to get too low before we Crystal Core. So next turn we will be able to prep Crystal Core for 3, then play this for 4-5, or we can just charge into some of these Murlocs and start clearing the board, which I think is what we're going to have to do. Because I'm assuming our opponent's going to have to trade. They know we have the minion in hand. This is good because neither of these trade efficiently. And then we have the double bonus of being able to charge into the Murloc War Leader to get rid of that type of shenanigans. Or those shenanigans? This is good. We got to charge into the 3-3. None of these die, so then we'll just play a 5-5 that draws us a card. Phantom Knives is going to be good right now. Morose is going to be pretty decent because it's just great card generation, token generation. The issue is we have lots of cards to be able that we have to deal with from our opponent. Which, to be honest, our opponent might be able to just go wide around us right now. Oh boy. Wait, was that generated or actually in the deck? Okay. So I think we need to do a little Fan of Knives action. We top deck another Fan of Knives, we're happy. Oh, we're pretty happy with that result as well. Returning to hand, that's fine. I'll take out the 2. You take out the other one. You take out another one. And we start punching face a little. We have board. I'm expecting these Murlocs not to be too aggressive in terms of direct face damage. So I think we have a chance here. That's just scary. Oh, that's the... Oh, awful. That is awful is what that is. Fan of Knives is actually decent here. I think we do this into Fan. And then we start going face. And we hope. We have lethal anyways. This one damage isn't going to matter. So I'm going to hold it just in the event that who knows if there's some crazy tauntage or something going on. Maybe there's a... Maybe Tyrion shows up. Uh-oh. Oh, there could be lethal. All he needs is a true silver and I lose. All he needs is a Wind Fury and I lose. Wind Fury plus attack? No, it's only plus 3 attack. So I'm not dead there. Ooh, these games though. These games. It's really interesting to see how this deck is actually kind of evolving a little bit. Oh, taunt. Well, we were talking about the tauntage, right? I don't know that my one attack is going to do much, but... No chargers, no chargers. No chargers and we're fine. Oh, that's good. That's fine. Attack. Oh, and we do not have lethal right now. Maybe we do. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, okay, so we do have lethal with the Brewmaster. Oh, and we already... Yeah, we could return. So we attack in. I poke. We return. 5, 10. Charge again. For more face damage. And we say well played. That was an intense game. That was fun, though. I really liked it. This deck might be a little silly. I'm not sure. Well, this is looking like it could go horribly. We're going to throw the quest out on turn 1 there. I kind of regret that. Maybe I should have just thrown out the South Sea. But we will see how this ends up going. Okay. And because it's Quest Warrior, I was honestly very, very worried that it would be some sort of Pirate Warrior. Because we've had pretty bad success rate against the Pirate Warriors. And if our opponent misses here, oh my. Oh, that is the worst result for our opponent. Does that count or no? No, it doesn't. So we are going to start doing some of this action, I believe. And do we just drop a 4-4 as well then? I mean, next turn we could drop a 6-6, but I think this is going to be the best play. And now this kind of clears out the board, and Taunt Warriors, I mean, on turn 3, I mean, they can coin out a 4. They still have coin, right? They went, yeah, we don't have the coin. Yeah, their hand is way bigger. They obviously have the coin. So at this point, we're going to be able to control the board slightly. A slam into what, though? A slam into what is the question? Into Whirlwind. Wow. Okay, so this is one of those crazy. Are we going to Ferryman the South Sea, or are we going to wait for something? I think we play the most power here. I think we need to wait for something better than South Sea. Simply because, and I also didn't want patches out right now. I mean, we can do patches now. Oh, this is never mind. Never you mind. This is way better to start stealing cards from. Yeah, we know who's in charge now. You don't have to tell us every time, dude. We're gonna hang on to this. We don't need another one right now. We can combo this with our Fan of Knives, which I hope to top deck very soon. So how do we do this? 4, 5. Do we need to save the Edwin or save me? I think saving the Edwin is more important. Or do we just South Sea? Yeah, this is a good time to South Sea now. That 2 damage. Continue building a big deck against Pirate Warrior, against Taunt Warrior. I'm so used to seeing Garrosh and just thinking, yeah, that's a Pirate Warrior we're facing. And opponent still has coin, so they can go and get some really big minions. But because we were able to save Edwin, that's either going to force out some removal and then slow down our opponent, or we're going to be able to start doing some of that fun stuff. And we really, really need some help in terms of drawing here. We still have 2 Mimic Pods, which can help. 2 Novice Engineers, which could help. That's really hurting us. Another Swashbuckler, obviously great. Shadow Step, obviously great. We can just attack in now, which is a little unfortunate. But I don't think we can afford to necessarily lose this. Or Because I feel like the quest is just such a strong... Oh, getting this is so awful. I mean, if we had fan right now, that would be great. But right now, it's awful. And everything's just at 1. What can we possibly... There's so many good warrior cards. I think we need to do this just because we're going to fall behind on tempo. Hey, that's a good card for next turn. Do we evis now or do we just trade? Yeah, I'm going to evis now simply to build up a board. Not because I really want to be doing this and I don't want to be exposing my Swashbuckler, but because we have a big juicy taunt for next turn, maybe we'll be okay. Maybe we'll be okay to slow down the game. And our opponent is only at 2, but as they get to that sort of mid-range kind of state of the game, they're going to be able to start slamming down taunts every single turn. And that's just going to become a really, really big problem for us. Yeah, and our opponent knows they got to kill that Swashbuckler. I mean, they know it. Deal 3 damage to all oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, and getting that right now is unfortunate. Very unfortunate for us. If we just had a little bit more patience, huh? Although getting this does help us, because otherwise, who knows? Would have been different. Now we need some sort of help. Oh, and we would have completed the quest. Ooh, this is sad. We can do Target Lord, though. We can get 1, 2. If we get one more bounce, we're in business, right? Because this is 1. We can Shadow Step it now for 2. Next turn, we can Youthful Brewmaster it. Although it does make it a lot worse in the long run. I think we wait. I think this warrior might have us here. Yeah, I think we blew our chance by throwing that Swashbuckler. I was so worried about losing tempo that I should have we should have played around that AoE there. Yeah, this is pretty bad now. Punch, punch, or execute. Execute's the worst thing in the world. Curator's pretty bad thing as well. Oh my. Oh my, we got nothing going on right now. Do we heal this for 2? No. We need to get lucky with something. Yeah, well, this is looking like a very sad loss, and it's going to be completely my fault. This is definitely something that we could have played a lot better. We would have had our quest completed right now. We would have had a couple 5/5s or a bunch of 5/5s out on board. I mean, our opponent can punch through this, and there really is no reason not to. Unless they're just going to really wait for that. A couple of Stone Tusks. Oh, we can get this completed now, can't we? One, 2, 3, 4... 5. And now we have the prep. Give me that sweet juicy Caverns below. This reduces by 3, so it goes to 2, exactly what we have. And all of a sudden we're able to do a whole bunch of punching. We're going to leave this one alone for a minute. I'm going to punch that one. You're going to punch that one. And we're going to feel a whole heck of a lot better about our situation right now. Although we are going to probably get hit with a brawl just because our opponent is running what seems to be a very, very control-oriented Curator quest warrior. Which I think is going to probably be one of the stronger ones. I don't have Sleep with the Fishes. That's what kind of helped clear our board early. And they have the Whirlwind package as well for the early game removal. So yeah, I mean, this is an easy trade, right? You do this every time. Then the 3/3 is able to take out one of these weak ones. Oof. Oh, never mind. Here comes more fishes. So I think we really... Oh, boy. Quest complete. And we lost. Haha. Oh. Maybe too greedy. Too much greed there. We can get rid of this one, but it's not going to matter. We start getting hit with Ragnaros every single turn. Oh, this is too bad. Yeah, this comes down to us playing that Swashbuckler when we should have held it for one more turn, because we top decked bounces 2 turns in a row, and we should have known better because we've played this deck a few times now. Okay, friends, we're going to continue here, and I think we want to prep out the Mimic Pod just to give us a whole bunch of options for next turn. Okay, it's at least draw. At the very least, we got some draw, which is not what we were hoping for. We were hoping a whole bunch of gadgets and Ferryman. We can just cycle them endlessly and go that way. Our opponent didn't mulligan everything, so maybe we're okay. We can do some silly cycling between the two of these, but that's only once we get to turn 4 and later. Maybe I should have played... Oh. Okay, so maybe this is a control elemental shaman. So we are just going to go ahead and do this. Yeah, well, I don't mind playing that, even though, you know, if it gets lightning bolted, we're actually kind of sad, and that's what our opponent should be doing. Tar Creeper, obviously not great for us. This is much better now. And now again, oh my goodness, you know what? We made the exact same mistake last time, didn't we? We did this. Instead of holding our bounces and waiting. What are we going to get here? We shadow step it. So now we're committed to the Novice Engineer. One more Novice Engineer. That's a pretty good card for next turn, I think. And I think we just wait. I mean, we can punch through next turn if we need it. Now that's 2, so now we have to wait. Now this is the real key. I have to show some sort of restraint, which I never seem to do for some reason. So if this is going to be Elemental Shaman, what we need to do here is really just go wide. Violet Teacher. I mean, if we get Violet Teacher, Backstab, Prep, Fan of Knives, we're in business. If we don't, that's okay, obviously. If we get some sort of bounce, I mean, oh, we're off to the races. But we have, honestly, lots of options for things that we can be doing right now. And, okay, something big coming out. The Discover, yes, the slightly worse Draconoid OP. Servant of Kalamos, however, I know I say it's slightly worse Drac OP. However, it is still very powerful. And now this is completely my fault, once again. Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. We can't play this. We need to make sure we have it, because we had our extra bounce here. And if we had just waited a turn, like, there was no need to tempo out the Gadgetzan Ferryman. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and we clear the board. But then we don't have a board. Let's do this. Let's see what we draw. Stone Tusk. We punch. Or we play both of our chargers, hit one in, and then trade one so we maintain some sort of a board. I kind of like that. It might draw out AoE. It might slow our opponent down next turn. Well, you're not really in charge, dude, but, and you know what, just because, you know, it's patches, we kind of got to disrespect him a little. And make sure he's the one that goes down. So obviously we can get hit with some pretty big, pretty big elementals at this point, and one of them was Discovered, and our opponent has a whole bunch of cards that they didn't play early in the game, so there is a chance that we are in trouble right now. Kalamos into Kalamos is acceptable value. Until, of course, we draw one more bounce back mechanic. So we have 3 in the deck. This is unfortunate because now we have to trade. Because we lost our weapon there. But we need to make this trade so that we protect our Violet Teacher. This is something that's basically going to need to get hexed. Oh, that Ferryman. The Ferryman did a little bit of work. But to be honest, it should have already activated our quest. And this would be a completely different game right now. And again, I think, okay, so we can have some takeaways here from this in that we really need to be much more reserved when it comes to playing the quest. And actually activating. We're not playing the quest, but I should say activating the quest. Playing the quest, you basically throw it out turn 1 no matter what. Unless it's Pirate Warrior and you have to do crazy stuff. Then you do whatever you have to survive. Because it's Pirate Warrior, right? And it's really cool here, actually, that you can... Well, I'm pointing on my screen. I tried to move my mouse. But you can see which card it is currently at 2. Elemental, that's terrifying. Well, we got a way to deal with this, so that's nice. And we can draw a bounce again. There we go. So we can activate our quest now, or we can do this. And I think this is going to be better. I will play the Novice Engineer just to cycle a little bit. There we go. Oh, Morose is absolutely a beautiful card to see once this quest is activated, because it's just a free 5/5 every single turn, which we hope is going to be good enough. We don't know if it will be, to be honest. Uh-oh, what's this? Hex? Hex is not good enough against Caverns from below, because you just get a 5/5 frog, which is with taunt, actually, which is super cool. And one of the decent things about how we're situated right now, that's fine. That's going to turn into a 5, unless we just get AoE'd down. That's fine. Our opponent has a relatively slow turn here. Jade Claws, again, slow. We're going to play 2 for 2 and then 5. If we get a prep, we're kind of going to be happy. Hey, look who it is. And I think we are going to play it right now. Simply because now our opponent's going to have a hard time with our board. And this Jade Elemental Shaman, I think, is really, really cool potential. I still haven't had time to play it. I am going to play it and post some videos. Hopefully, hopefully closer to rank 5. But we'll see. We'll see how much time I have to try and climb in the near to far future. And this, I feel like there's maybe something... You commit too much to these elementals when you try to do this deck, so that you're not really able to... well, this is good. I mean, South Sea is going to charge through it no matter what. Obviously, there can be more removal. These types of elementals, these elementals generate more elementals mechanic. This has really, really big potential. Yeah, I think we just do this. In this sort of deck, sorry. I should explain what the heck I'm talking about sometimes. 2... 3. Morose is great. Oh no, wait, what the heck am I doing? And I will punch face once. So our opponent sure has some elementals and some elemental activators, but we have 15 on board, and it's going to turn into a whole heck of a lot more very shortly. And we have actually been able to draw, because we were able to use our quest on the Novice Engineer. We were able to draw quite a bit through our deck. So we still have Mimic Pod to help build our hand a little. We have a Fan of Knives still. And we still have 2 Swashbucklers. So there is some potential to continue to put out pressure. And the thing is, if our opponent does, let's say, the great Shaman control card is, not Elemental Destruction, is going to be Devolve, these still turn into 5/5s. And we clear our opponent's board right now. This is fine. That's fine. Everything here is fine. That's a really good card too. Now the question is, do we want to commit the Violet Teacher to the board? And I'm not going to unstealth Morose yet, because this is, having Morose hit with a Devolve is still bad, because it turns into a 2-mana 5/5. This is going to be good. So I guess, or do we want to save a backstab, or do we want to do a backstab here? I think we want to do it this way. We'll go like that. The weak one will punch here. This will go face. Are there any real elemental buffs? No Flame Tongue. These decks should run Flame Tongue, to be honest with you. Whoa! Morose is pretty good. And yes, we did have the option there of playing Violet Teacher with a spell to fill the board a little bit more. But there still is that sort of option, right? And our opponent's going to be able to do some stuff to clear our board semi-effectively, if not just play a second Lightning Storm to try and clear out Morose. And if that's the case, I definitely would have hero-powered first to try and hit that spell power. Which is another reason why we don't unstealth Morose until we need to. Oh, wow. Why wouldn't you do that first? Okay, so this guarantees board clear, which is good that which is a good thing that we then did hold back our Violet Teacher. We're kind of hoping for a spell. Mimic Pod would be the best. Swashbuckler's cool because it's more card generation. Silence a minion. I'm just gonna punch in here and hero power. Or should we get a little bit going? We might need this. We might need this for something bigger. As much as it would be great to get more power on board. Hex, that's all right. And we just talked about this. Yes, that means no more generation, but it is just a 5/5 taunt. It's a cool frog taunt as well, which I dig. I think we have lots of decent top decks. That's not one of them. Oh, wait. What's wrong with me? It's still 5/5, which is hilarious. And the frog is going to do as much face damage as possible, just on principle. Now, that being said, that's still probably a decent move because then I could start getting tons and tons of free 5/5s thrown onto the board. But that's not going to be happening. And actually, this sort of situation here might be a case for in favor of running. We're going to trade in here. And then we're going to return in favor of running Volcano, because Volcano would have cleared my board there. I think we had to do that. We just need more cards right now. Restore minion to full health. Give it taunt. If you insist. Not that my face damage matters. Oops. Didn't hero power. Oh, there we go. Playing around Harrison Jones. Look at that. Genius. Genius, everyone. This has been... There's still a bunch of good top decks. I mean, our opponent's obviously just going to trade into whatever we have. Oh, no, that's wrong. That was the wrong play, I think. This is okay in terms of a top deck. Mimic Pod is obviously much better. I would have preferred to have seen that one first. Ooh, double Youthful Brew. I dig it. I dig it a lot. We hope we get, I mean, just some direct burst damage and we win. Oh, it costs 2 mana now. We can't win. Do we do this or do we just go face? I think we just go face. We expect not to lose at this point, I think. And we do have lethal in hand. Oh yeah, I forgot that this got thrown to 2 mana. Haven't played it in so long, I completely forgot. Maybe looking for spell power? I don't even know what you're looking for. It's too bad that the frog went down, but I mean, having the taunts. Looking for spell power? I don't know. Hey, Malchazar's Imp. Jade Lightning, that's fair. Maybe you taunt these up? Or just lethal yourself. That's fine. Yeah, no AoE is... Yeah, that massive AoE is what got rid of Morose, but I think this deck... It's crazy that this deck has so much gas, even after it gets taken out. Like, even after we're basically down to top decking, just because every top deck becomes so powerful. Which is kind of interesting. But okay, that's going to end this video. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. If you're enjoying these, and if you're having fun with Journey to Un'Goro, I know I'm going to be posting a whole bunch more videos. Feel free to hit that big old red subscribe button below. Keep your stick on the ice.